microburst that came right down Pine.
Actually, somebody was on the news, on ABC News.
Yeah.
On,
I was out of town. I was
Pine.
in Boston.
Here we go. Hi, Bob.
A couple down trees.
We only got John for half an hour, so I'm gonna hustle.
There's a
No problem.
On the Chicago River downtown for a moment. Somebody who's on a camera. I'm sure it's the same sequence.
Yeah, my neighbors over there, they were out there amazed. And then when you walk down that road that goes along the play fields,
Yes.
like every yard, there were just trees bent over there. It was amazing. A couple of the fences got blown out. Now, a block over in my yard, just sticks.
Yeah.
And how about you?
Yeah, we had lots of just sticks and little
Yeah.
branches.
But when that thing came down Pine Street, it just made a mess of everything. Okay, here we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Winnetka Village Council regular meeting for September 6, 2022. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please mute your cell phones and other electronic devices. And I'll ask Rob to do a roll call for attendance.
Trustee Swerk?
Here.
Trustee Dearborn?
Here.
Trustee Kreip?
Here.
Trustee Handler?
Here.
President Ritz?
Present. Trustee Swerk has provided the required notice that he is unable to attend tonight's meeting due to work obligations. Our rules provide that Trustee Swerk may participate remotely unless 2/3 of the board objects. Is there any objection? Seeing none, Trustee Swerk may now participate remotely, fully in the meeting, and the minutes should so reflect. Item 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll go ahead and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Rob, you want to go ahead and check quorum, please?
September 13th, 2022 study session. Trustee Dearborn, I have you being away.
Correct.
Anybody else? Looking good? Okay, then September.
I'm good for the next 3 meetings. I'm good.
Okay, John, we have you. Thank you. And then September 20th, all good. And then Thursday, October 6th, it's a rescheduled meeting.
I may be out of town that week.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Item 4 is public comment. This is the time of the evening where anyone joining us this evening can come up to the podium and share your thoughts. Is anybody here for public comment this evening? I just checked out, sir. Oh, great. Thank you. All right, we'll move ahead then. There is nobody else for public comment. Reports. Does any trustee have a report this evening?
Just quickly, we will be planting the flags on the village green starting at 3 o'clock on Saturday, the 9/11.
Awesome. I'll be there.
All right.
Kim, anything? No report. Bob?
No report, Chris.
Oh. John, any report?
No report, thank you.
Okay. Village attorney?
Nothing to report?
Village manager?
Nothing this evening. Thank you.
And village president, just really quickly, there's something I've been meaning to mention to the community for a long, long time, and now that it's fall, it's kind of sad because I didn't open my mouth sooner. If you have an opportunity late in the day or early in the evening, it's really cool to walk around the bioswales out at the Skokie Playfields. It is the most amazing little microclimate you would ever want to experience. I mean, there's all sorts of birds and animals living in these things. The temperature is about 10 degrees cooler than everywhere else. And a couple of weeks ago, it was just on fire with flowers. It's amazing. Now they're starting to die off a little bit. But it really is a nice, peaceful, and quiet place, and one of those things that I think makes Winnetka what Winnetka is. So if you get a chance and you're out walking, walk around there. I think you really enjoy it. Okay, item 6 is approval of the agenda. Does any trustee wish to remove any items on the consent agenda for a separate vote? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the final form of the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Voice vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, John. That motion carries. Item 7 is the consent agenda, and I'll ask the village clerk to read the items on the agenda.
Thank you. Approval of the village council minutes for August 2nd, 2022 regular meeting and August 9th, 2022 study session. Approval of the warrant list dated July 22nd, 2022 to August 3rd, 2022 in the amount of $2,500,000 $572,448.83. Resolution number R83, 2022, Little Lawns Liquor License Class A for adoption. Resolution number R85, 2022, renewal of the audit contract for 2 years. Resolution number R91, 2022, Pine and Spruce Parking Lot Landscaping Contract for adoption. Resolution number R92, 2022, approving a contract for sidewalk, snow, and ice removal for the downtowns. Resolution number R93, 2022, rejecting all bids, waiving bidding requirements, and awarding a contract to WEG Transformers USA, LLC for 2 750 kVA pad mount transformers for School District 36. And resolution number R95, 2022, the 2022 holiday lighting program.
Thank you, Rob. All right, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda by omnibus vote?
So moved?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Trustee Dearborn? Yes. Trustee Kreip?
Yep.
Trustee Handler?
Yes.
Trustee Swart?
Yes.
Get the vote?
Now you got 4.
Okay, item 8, ordinances and resolutions. Resolution number R86, 2022, waiving competitive bidding and approving purchase of line truck from Alltech Industries. This is up for adoption. Due to increasing extended manufacturing lead times for line trucks, village staff is recommending approval to award a contract for the purchase of a new line truck, allowing for an anticipated early 2028 delivery date. Director of Water and Electric, Brian Keys, is here to review. So take it away, Brian.
Thank you for the introduction, President Rentz. As mentioned, we're presenting to you a contract award for a purchase of a line truck, and that was not a typo, for 2028. Earlier this year, you may recall the council approved a purchase with Alltech Industries for a line truck that we'd hoped to take delivery of in 2023 that will not show up until 2025. Recognizing that we had another line truck in the 5-year capital plan for 2026, we approached Alltech about getting a second truck under contract. And we're basically surprised to learn that due to pandemic conditions and panic buying by large investor-owned utilities, that the earliest slot available is now 2028. Alltech is no longer able to give us a firm price on the truck, but is giving us a budgetary estimate for a line truck in the amount of $377,908. It's specs similar to the prior truck, except we have some additional material handling capabilities which will require a stronger boom and outriggers. Since this is a budgetary price, what they're proposing is that we would have 18 months prior to when the truck goes into manufacturing, we'll have the ability to they'll provide a firm price, at which time the village will have to make a decision to proceed with manufacturing or decline. If we decline, there's no penalty or cost. With the help from the village attorney, we've drawn up an agreement. So basically the village is, by approving this contract tonight, we're getting a manufacturing slot for 2028. We'll have an opportunity to decline 18 months prior. We'll have 45 days upon which to make that decision. And again, if we decline to accept the revised purchase price, there is no penalty. Payment terms for the new truck are net 30 of delivery in 2028. And with that, I'll ask for your consideration of a contract award to Alltech. In essence, you're holding a slot for us to get a truck in 2028. And I'll be happy to take any questions.
Awesome. Any questions for Brian?
In case we're all gone by 2028, are you gonna leave like a Post-it note somewhere?
As I mentioned in there, we'll be putting it in the 5-year capital improvement plan. I think actually we may bookmark it for 2027, so at least it's there on the plan that we've got a truck on the order.
Brian, is the $300,000 price for our first truck still holding?
The first truck is still holding, and it's still in 2025. Originally, when they told me it was 2028, they thought people would back out and things would start sliding in. It's actually gone the other direction. It's going further out.
So their price when 2025 comes along will be based on what? Will it be based on the demand in 2025?
2025 truck is a firm price except for the chassis, which comes from Freightliner. The 2028 truck is a budgetary price upon which they'll give us a firm price. It'll be from the Sourcewell quote, but that'll also have a component of the chassis, a Freightliner chassis that they don't control. So they'll give us that quote. We'll have to do our due diligence to decide if we want to accept it or not. And if we don't want to accept it, so if the market conditions are such that we can get a truck somewhere else, or we want to proceed, we'll have 45 days to make that decision. And maybe with, some luck, maybe the price will actually come down from their budgetary estimate, but in today's market conditions, I wouldn't speculate on that.
So we're gonna have a $300,000 capital item in 2026 in your capital budget.
You'll have a $277,000 line item from the previous purchase in 2025, and in 2028, you're gonna have a $377,908,000. The terms are net 30, so if we don't take delivery till 2028, we don't pay till 2028.
I see. Okay.
Again, I think the part to stress is as written in the contract document from the village attorney and what Alltech has proposed, if we cancel at that 18 months before manufacturing starts, there is no penalty.
And
So,
between
financial
now and
condition-
then,
Pardon?
between now and then, you're gonna keep your trucks going and,
We gotta keep, we don't have a choice. We
Not a
keep the
choice.
existing fleet running.
yeah, okay, wow.
Others? Kim? Okay. Any comments or questions from the audience? Seeing none, we'll bring back, any other issues here? Ready to go? Okay, then I'll go ahead and ask for a motion to adopt resolution number R86, 2022.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call vote.
Trustee Kripe?
Yes.
Trustee Handler?
yes.
Trustee Dearborn?
Yes?
Trustee Swerk?
Yes.
That motion carries, and we're good to go. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, we'll move on to item B at this time, resolution number R94, 2022, approving a contract with Northern Divers USA, Inc. for sheet piling repairs. Council will consider approving a contract with Northern Divers USA to ensure proper replacement of sheet piling and surface water valve that has been damaged due to repeated high water, heavy ice, and wave conditions. Hold on here, Brian. Director of Water and Electric, Brian Keys, is here to review again.
Thank you for the
Take it away.
introduction, President Renson. As you outlined in your introductory remarks, we went out for we issued a bid 022037 for sheet piling repairs. It's in the northeast corner of what we call the intake pond structure at the electric plant. It's sheet piling and a sluice gate, which is basically a valve, a crank valve that controls water flow coming in off the end of the pier. As noted, it was damaged from weather conditions, and we got 3 responsive bids, one from Northern Divers in the amount of $171,594, Lakes and Rivers Contracting $231,750, and Covalent Construction for $277,000. The scope of work is the labor, material, and equipment to repair the sheet piling, replace it, the structural members, and the sluice gate itself. Northern Divers has done work for the village of Winnetka before. They'll be subbing some of the work to Gillen Construction. Their work has been completed in a satisfactory manner, and staff would request your consideration adopting Resolution R94, which would approve the contract with Northern Divers. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions?
I have a question, Brian, can you just, there are different numbers rolling around this memo here. There's 500,000 for the repair of the pier brace.
There's 500.
Wait, now hang on, so the repair of Tower Road Pier. Then there was 32,500 for the repair of the pier brace that's occurred. Then we have 171,000. There's different components of this.
Right, so the pier, there's several pieces of the pier that have been damaged and require replacement. So we've been biting them off in the order of severity of what needs to be done from a generating perspective, and now we're getting to the parts where now we're getting to the repair of the decking. So we've done the structural brace in the corner. This will be the sheet piling repair. Coming to you next will be a professional services contract for civil work for basically concrete design work for the end of the pier and the top deck of the pier and an assessment. And probably what we're currently budgeting to carry over into 2023 will be contracting for what I'll call concrete work at the pier itself. So the 500,000 was not one project, it was for an estimate of the total amount of repairs to the pier itself. And so we've been presenting them as separate amounts, and I would anticipate the last one, which is basically concrete, some level of concrete repairs and structural assessment at the end of the pier, to be the largest piece.
And how did this piece come in relative to what you anticipated
This piece,
from a budget standpoint?
this piece was a little higher than I anticipated, to be honest. I didn't think it was that complex of a job. It's not that much sheet piling, but both the first and second bidder have done work for the village, and you can see where the bid results are.
Yeah.
So the uncertainty with the third piece is the concrete level, is there's gonna be some structural assessment and a determination made of how much of the decking has to get replaced, which is, to be honest, a wild card at this point.
I mean, this is one of these things that has to be done. I think we all understand that. The 500,000 at this point, are you thinking it's more 10% under? What?
So where I'm budgeting right now is I'm carrying in the proposed budget, subject to all kinds of reviews that we'll go through, is I have entered 300,000 for the concrete repairs going into next year. I'm planning on spending some professional services dollars the remainder of this year to get that design work completed.
Okay, so the delta might be this design work.
The delta is gonna be the design work and how much I can get done before the end of the year. Construction-wise, by the time they get the assessment done, we'll be in the winter months, it won't make sense to attempt. So the goal would be is to complete before Memorial Day. If we don't do that, then we'll be recommending holding it till after Labor Day next year.
Okay.
So Brian, just so I got it straight in my head, then there's this other repair on the other side, next to Tower
So
Road Beach.
No, the repair I'm talking about with trustee Dearborn is actually the concrete parking lot, which is still on the same pier, but it's on the paved surface. And at the end of the pier where people go to fish or hang out, that needs structural concrete repairs.
Right,
That's the remaining piece I'm talking about. So the first piece was on the far end, that was actually, it'd be the southeast end of the pier, which was, say, the cooling outfall pond, so the Lloyd Park side of the electric plant.
right,
This piece is inside the containment pond, but at the northeast corner where the sheet piling is.
right.
And the last piece, which is gonna require the most assessment and civil work, is the concrete itself. So parking spaces and the physical north-south piece of the pier that people like to walk out on and fish.
What is the status of the repairs to the far north piece that was damaged before, that the Park District keeps asking me about?
That's the part that's going out for us, engineering.
For engineering, so
Right.
we don't even have a schedule for
We don't have a
actually
schedule
doing
for that. The goal
Okay.
is to get that design. Now, some of the earlier indications from the Park District, which I don't believe are currently, they have an interest in pursuing, was some of their inquiries was related to bundling a project to put some stone breakwater in front of the pier structure. I don't believe they're planning to pursue that. So that was previous dialogue. Some of it perhaps to you, also staff to staff, about is there a win-win project where both parties want to put stone in front of the pier? My understanding is they're not pursuing that at this time due to other projects being higher priority.
Gotcha, okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, public comment. Would you like to say anything? I have to ask, you're welcome to talk about the pier if you'd like. Thank you. All right, any other comments or discussion up here? No, we good? All right, may I have a motion to adopt resolution number R94, 2022?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call vote.
Trustee Dearborn?
Yes?
Trustee Kripe?
Yes.
Trustee Handler?
Yes.
Trustee Swerk?
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. So we'll move forward. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, item number 9, old business, there is none this evening. Item 10, new business, there is none. Appointments, there is none. And closed session, there is none. So with that being said, I'm down to item 13, which is adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Voice vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We stand
Aye.
adjourned. Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
No, I got one. I think it was 11 minutes.
This is 19.
This is unusual. It's been